I remember when we was living over on San Rafael Street, we had we got we was one of the first people in the blocks to get a television. So she'd set it up on the front porch, and we'd have all the kids in the neighborhood that that didn't have TV. They would come in and watch TV on our front porch, and we'd end up playing games and cooking, and Mama would start playing the guitar and stuff, and pretty soon everybody's dancing, So I just kind of got that kind of from her.
Since I was 10 years old, I used to always come and watch like I said, I used to come and watch the band players, bands that come through, the musicians that come through, and I always wanted to play an instrument. And so I got a chance to get a bass, and I didn't know how to play it. My first bass had 3 strings. I thought I was playing bass. But after you showed me a lot, about playing techniques and doing techniques and dynamics and stuff like that on the bass and stuff, and showed me a lot of stuff that he had patience with me, because boy, a lot of times I felt like I wanted to give up, but he kept kept at me on it. So now I'm playing with him.
I went to Hollywood, and they changed my name from Ural Thompson to Thomas for the purpose of business. And I told them I wanted to be myself from the beginning, but it don't work that way, in Hollywood, so you learn a lot as you go along the way. In the process of my trying to, live that life and be myself, I decided this is not what I really want to do. So I came home and I started putting stuff together, in my own mind first, and I got with all these different people that was on the same page as me.
I mean, I actually experienced people coming from the east, from Boston, that area and stuff, where they're elementary school music teachers, but they come clear across the states, and while they're here, they'll come in and want to see Ural. And they'll play with us, like the girls that played the saxophones and stuff. They were music teachers. It was just beautiful to see that this is where they wanted to come.
And I wanted to make this a place where people could come and feel at home, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. So I started pulling materials and stuff out of the river. I tried to get building permits from the city because they didn't want to go for me building a structure like this back in the day, but I told them the recycling was going to be big. This was about 50, 60 years ago, and they told me no. And I said, no, it's not going to happen. So now here we are, and everyone around me is recycling. I mean, it's a good feeling to know that I was one of the first. I know I wasn't the first. The neighborhood is becoming more like a village, where people do really respond to each other together. And it's getting better and better. It was kind of rough at first, I think, for not just some, but it was kind of rough for everybody for a while there. This is where people really learned how to not to be afraid of getting in front of an audience and sharing their self, because they learn how to do it here. And sometimes they say, don't get on me. And I said, no, I'm not getting on anybody. I said, I'm just sharing what I know. If you want to have someone to want to listen to your stuff, you've got to make sure that it's presentable to you. And if you learn to share and actually be supportive of each other, that's one thing I try to stress to everyone. If someone else comes in new they don't know, don't tell them, hey, don't push them away. Let them come in, and let them come in easy, so they can learn too. At the same time, if they want to, they will.
Hooking up with Ural has been awesome, because he's such a mecca of soul. That's my vibe when I come here. I'm checking into the Soul Church, getting my education, and playing with some fabulous people.
It's one of those things, where you learn to share or you don't have nothing. Yeah, because if you don't have something that you can share and help someone else along the way, you haven't gained anything.